morning. My name is Jeremy Dice, and I'm the President and General Counsel of the Family Policy Council of West Virginia. And this morning I also am happy to serve as in the capacity of counsel to Itea Gravely. On her behalf, we would like to announce that we have filed a medical malpractice action against Women's Health Center of West Virginia and its abortionist, Rodney Lee Stevens. Ms. Gravely has filed this civil action because her life and every woman's life is more important than the bottom line of an abortionist. What Women's Health Center of West Virginia and Rodney Stevens did to Tia is simply beyond the pale. She has been exposed to extraordinary cruelty, and her life has been put in jeopardy. This case started on April 19, 2012, when our client had entered Women's Health Center of West Virginia. She had been persuaded over the phone and then again in person by counselors at Women's Health Center of West Virginia to have an abortion. Among the very first things that the employees with Women's Health Center of West Virginia did was to ask Tia for payment. Our client is of limited means and depends upon the public health system funded by the West Virginia taxpayers. And of course, Women's Health Center of West Virginia would not perform the abortion for free. So to satisfy payment, our client provided a state-issued medical card. Once Women's Health Center of West Virginia had their money, and she was admitted to speak with a counselor. And after the counselor had given more information about how to proceed with aborting her baby, Tia was given an oral sedative. When Women's Health Center of West Virginia determined that she was ready, she was shown to an exam room and administered yet more anesthesia, this time intravenously. At 2:42 p.m., Rodney Stevens began the abortion procedure, and as our case alleges, as the procedure began, but before any action to abort our client's baby had been taken by Rodney Stevens or Women's Health Center of West Virginia, our client erupted in pain and unequivocally instructed Rodney Stevens and the employees of Women's Health Center of West Virginia to stop the abortion procedure. Rodney Stevens refused to stop, and instead he directed employees with Women's Health Center of West Virginia to physically restrain our client. By 2:52 p.m., just 10 minutes after he began, Rodney Stevens dismissed Tia to a recovery room. Until she was discharged at 3:07 p.m., our client repeatedly complained of severe abdominal pain. Despite her pain, no one at Women's Health Center of West Virginia provided anything more than water and crackers. In fact, we allege that there is no record of Rodney Stevens even checking on her progress in the recovery room. Tia was asked to leave Women's Health Center of West Virginia by the back door of their facility rather than return through the waiting area. Tia's pain was so severe that she had to be supported by both her cousin and her father just to make it to her car. Over the next 24 hours, Tia's abdominal pain increased tremendously. Tia called the day after. She called the Women's Health Center of West Virginia, but they could not help her over the phone, and Tia was too weak and in too much pain to actually transport herself to their clinic. Instead, she called for an ambulance and was taken to CAMC Women's and Children's Hospital. The doctors at CAMC took an ultrasound of her abdomen and discovered that the source of her severe abdominal pain was the decomposing head of her baby that Rodney Stevens and Women's Health Center of West Virginia had failed to remove from her uterus. Doctors at CAMC cared for our client by correcting the mistake that we allege Rodney Stevens and Women's Health Center of West Virginia committed. Based at least on the fact that the head of our client's baby was left to rot inside of her, our lawsuit alleges that Women's Health Center of West Virginia and Rodney Stevens breached the standard of care and committed medical malpractice by physically restraining our client and forcing her to proceed and endure a botched abortion against her wishes. Women's Health Center of West Virginia and Rodney Lee Stevens battered and falsely imprisoned Tia. Further, by ignoring her wishes to stop the procedure, not only did Women's Health Center of West Virginia operate without her consent, their actions were extreme and outrageous, resulting in emotional distress. And finally, Women's Health Center of West Virginia and Rodney Stevens took taxpayer dollars, but promised a complete and relatively painless abortion, but inflicted significant pain on our client and botched her abortion. As such, we allege they are in breach of contract with our client. While we hope that this lawsuit will in some small way begin to restore some of Tia's physical and emotional pain, Tia's greatest concern is for other women who, like she was, are completely unaware of what goes on inside of Women's Health Center of West Virginia. What Women's Health Center of West Virginia and Rodney Stevens did to Tia is simply beyond the pale. She has been exposed to extraordinary cruelty, and her life was put in jeopardy. Every woman's life is more important than the bottom line of an abortionist. In conclusion, I'd like to say two things to the West Virginia public. First, if there are any women listening, like Tia, who have been injured as a result of Women's Health Center of West Virginia, your health and safety is more important than their bottom line. Seek someone to come beside you, to help you physically, spiritually, emotionally, and if necessary, to restore your legal rights. Second, the general public, as a matter of public safety, needs to know that Women's Health Center of West Virginia and the abortion industry of West Virginia is unregulated. That means that the state of West Virginia is not inspecting this clinic. It is not licensing its activities, or in any way ensuring the safety of the women who enter its doors. In fact, there are more health and safety regulations for veterinary medical clinics and tattoo studios than for Women's Health Center of West Virginia and other standalone abortion mills across the state. West Virginians should expect Governor Tomlin and the West Virginia legislature to enact broad regulations on the abortion industry in the state to protect the women of West Virginia from similar extraordinary pain and cruelty that Tia has been through. Our government must take proactive action that says that our sisters and our daughters are more important than the bottom line of Women's Health Center of West Virginia or any abortionist. For more on the importance of a well-regulated abortion industry, I turn to my friend from Alliance Defending Freedom, Casey Maddox, and after his remarks, I'm pleased to take your questions. Casey?
My name is Casey Maddox, and I am Senior Counsel with Alliance Defending Freedom, and I lead our Abortionist Accountability Project. This is a sad day in West Virginia, but it's sadder still that this is not an isolated event. In recent months, America has finally behind the curtain of the abortion business, and what we have seen is disturbing. Despite a long list of reasons why these problems are underreported and rarely come to light, we now know about Kermit Gosnell's decades of atrocities, the death of Jennifer Morvelli after an abortion by Leroy Carhart, one of the most celebrated abortionists in the country in Maryland, the death of Tanya Reeves in Chicago at a Planned Parenthood clinic, the recent closure of 4 Maryland clinics after another woman's death in an array of health and safety violations, the Delaware Planned Parenthood clinic where 2 nurses resigned in disgust at the conditions that they saw, the disgusting violations found by inspectors in Virginia last year where every clinic inspected had a deficiency, and more botched abortions and unsanitary conditions discovered in Colorado, Texas, and elsewhere, all of that just in the last year. West Virginia is not immune from these problems as we are seeing today. Yet its abortion clinics are unlicensed and unregulated. That is absolutely unacceptable. It is time to hold abortionists accountable. And it's time to demand that our elected officials who have bowed to the abortion lobbyists and resisted any regulation of these clinics take responsibility for protecting the health and safety of West Virginia's women. Abortion advocates will claim that they want abortion to be safe, legal, and rare. But their actions tell another story. Abortion is legal, but it is neither safe nor rare. And they resist any efforts to make it so. Groups like NARAL or Planned Parenthood will claim that they support reasonable regulations. But the fact is that their sense of reason is out of whack with that of most Americans. They have never seen an abortion regulation that they like, no matter how limited or how necessary to protect women's health. Well over 1 million abortions per year occur in America. Abortion is a billion-dollar industry. The nation's largest abortion business, Planned Parenthood alone, performs an abortion every 95 seconds and has a budget of over $1 billion, almost half from taxpayers. Abortion isn't rare. It's commonplace and it's lucrative. Abortion remains legal. Is it too much to ask that the facilities performing these abortions be safe and sanitary? That no matter what invasive medical procedure a woman is undergoing, that it be done in a facility that is licensed and regulated and inspected? That the supposed choice actually at least be left to the woman herself instead of having an abortionist restrain her against her will? Make no mistake, we oppose abortion, and I look forward to the day when the medical profession is once again solely in the business of saving lives. And abortion is a sad part of our history. But surely in the meantime, we can all agree that the facilities where these abortions are performed for a profit should be accountable to the public. As the experience of Virginia and other states shows, when abortion clinics are treated like other surgical facilities and are licensed, regulated, and inspected, abortionists are placed on notice, and the worst of these threats to women's health and safety are exposed, and abortionists are held accountable. Alliance Defending Freedom stands with our friends at the Family Policy Council of West Virginia and the citizens of this state in demanding that women's health and safety be placed ahead of abortionist bottom line.